In this video, I'm going to be looking at the volume and surface area of cuboids. So the volume, this is all the space inside a shape. And to find the volume of a cuboid is very easy. So all you have to do is multiply the length by the width by the height. And then the unit for volume is always cubed. So it'll be in centimeters cubed or meters cubed. Okay, so always to the power of 3. So in the first one here, so you can see we have a length of 3, a width of 4, and then a height of 2. So our volume then, we just have to do 3 by 4 by 2, and that will be equal to 24 meters cubed. Okay, the one on the right then, so we have 7, 7, and 7. So the volume of that one will just be 7 times 7 times 7. And that will be equal to 343 centimeters cubed. Okay. So sometimes you can be faced with a question where they don't give you one of the sides. So here, as you can see, we don't have our height, but we have our length and we have our width. This is the height. Okay, so we know the volume. To find that, we multiply all the sides. So let's do that. So the volume is going to be 11 times 5 times x. That is equal to 220. Notice here I use brackets instead of the times sign, and I did that because I have an x involved, and I don't want a times sign next to an x because it's going to start to look a bit confusing. So 11 times 5, that'll be 55. Then times x would be 55x, equivalent to 220. So now I'm solving for x, so then x is equal to 220 divided by 55. So x is equal to 4. So 4 centimeters. So again, like any of these questions, write out what we know, work out what we can, and then we form an equation and then solve for x. Okay, so now we look at surface area. So surface area is the area all around the outside of a 3D shape. So to find the surface area of this cuboid, we need to find the area of all of these rectangles on the outside and then add them all together. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to do the method in the yellow box here. I'm going to draw and label the 2D shapes, okay, of this. So first of all, the front. That'll be 12 and 5. So I have 5 times 12 is 60. But then remember, the front and the back are going to be the exact same in a cuboid. So then I need to do 60 times 2, which is 120. Okay, so now we'll have a look at the sides. So for that one, we have the width of 4 and then the height of 5. So 5 times 4 is 20. And then remember, we need to times by 2 because we have a right side and a left side. So 20 times 2 will be 40. Now, finally, we have the base and the top. That'll be 12 and 4. So 4 times 12 is 48. And then remember, we need to times by 2 because the top and bottom will be the exact same. 48 times 2 is going to be 96. So now let's add together all of those areas. So we have 120 plus 40 plus 96. And that then is equal to 256 centimeters squared. Now, for cuboids, there is a faster way to do that. Okay, and the reason I wanted to draw out the 2D shapes is because when you have to find the surface area of other prisms, there won't always be a simple formula for it. So it's important that you do understand how to draw it out. So the formula I'm going to use now is up at the top left here. So 2 times the length by the width, plus 2 times the length by the height, plus 2 by the width by the height. And in this question, our length, let me just separate it here. The length is 12. Our width then is 4, and the height is 5. So our formula then, 2 length by width, plus 2 length by height, plus 2 width by height. So putting all these values into the formula now, so 12, then 4, plus 2, times 12 times 5, plus 2 by 4 by 5. So then putting all of this into our calculator, we get 256 centimeters squared. So remember, for area, your unit will always be squared. Now in this question, you can see we're given the surface area, but we don't know what the width is, which is x. So let's use what we can now and put it into the formula. So we have our length, we have our height, and x then is our width. So I'm going to write out the formula for surface area. So I have 2 times 8 times x plus 2 by 8 times 6 plus 2 times x times 6. Okay, so that'll be 16x plus 96 plus 12x. And all of this then is equal to 236, because 236 is our area. Okay, so let's simplify here. So 16x and 12x, that'll be 28x, plus 96 equals 236. Let's bring the 96 to the other side. So then 28x is equal to 236 minus 96, which is 140. So then x equals 140 over 28. So x then is equal to 5. So our final answer is x equals 5 centimeters.